in a sec. Where do you see the role of grassroots movements, the permaculture movement or the ecovillage movement in this shift towards sustainability?
Well, it's clear that this current high consumption lifestyle that we are now engaged in is not going to last for much longer. I mean, it's reaching the limits of the Earth's capacity to bear it. So we're going to have to do something, we're going to have to live in much simpler ways. And this is where permaculture and the eco-village movement comes in. We've got to live in the right way with an animate Earth. It means a life that's simpler and much, much more connected with the cycles of nature, with growing food, with earthen buildings, with organic buildings, with homemade clothes, with all of those things. And this is where permaculture can help us to, to survive, because we're not going to be able to survive in any other way once this civilization collapses, which seems pretty likely. And B, more than to survive, and to actually develop a deep relationship with the earth, because those organic structures that are made, those organic houses that are made, say in permaculture, the cob houses, straw bale houses, or permaculture gardens, all of those ways of living and dealing with the earth in themselves embody the animate earth within them. Once you're living inside a structure like that, once you're growing your food in that sort of permaculture-ish way, those processes actually teach you about the animate nature of the earth in a physical, experiential way, which you can't get simply through reading books. So in other words, in order to really experience what this world is, you have to live in a way that's consistent with it and harmonious with it. And this is where the eco-village movement comes in, the permaculture movement comes in. So two levels. One is a superficial level. Well, it's the only way we're going to survive in the future when our civilization collapses. And two, a deeper level, it's the only way that we're actually going to experientially understand how we can live with the earth, or what this earth really is. We can't experience it when we're sitting in a jet plane or a Mercedes-Benz, but we can experience it when we're living in a round hut made out of straw bale or natural materials.
Is your vision of the future one where we're really going back to just natural materials and a sort of future primitive lifestyle, or do you see a way that we might be able to bring what was good about these traditional cultures back into a modern technological culture and somehow marry the two?
I think we can marry the two. Of course, it depends how many people we're going to have. But speaking ideally, yes, I think we can marry the two. But I think it would be a much more organic relationship with nature. We may have high tech, we probably have computers, but we'll be using those computers in buildings that are made largely out of natural materials, buildings that when we sit in them are constantly reminding us of the earth from which the materials were taken. That doesn't mean to say that we can't have sophisticated buildings. I mean, I think many of the buildings, even of the Victorian age, embodied that sort of organic feeling. I don't think we'll be sitting in glass-fronted skyscrapers in that time. I mean, there might still be some left that we have to use, but ideally, I think we will have moved away from that kind of intense high tech, at least in our buildings.